Also, you can see that here is an error because this shouldn't be here. Okay, the problem is this is not the plain HTML, this is the JSX, which is similar to HTML. So we can do this in the HTML and it would be shown in the browser, but here it is actually considered as the part of the programming, so we just cannot add the greater than here. If we want to use the greater than or less than signs, we have to use the entities for those purposes. Anyway, I'm now going to the browser and you can see that it becoming lengthier. Here it starts from here. Actually, the nested class component, it starts from here. Hello from the class component, hello from the other side, and etc. And then again right here you can see that the nested class component start from here. Hello from the class component, hello from the other side. This is the data etc. So why we are getting the class component starts from here 2 times? Because we call the app component 2 times in the index.js. And here you can see that the hello from the class component showing in the normal way. Now there are 2 things you can also notice. Some new data here, the children data, both things are empty here. Here also some new data, the children data, but at the very end some new data here, new component data. The children data, some data from the other children, and also you can see that from the props in class component, some data from the class component. There is no some data from the class component. There are no some data from the class component. So why it is there? Why it's not there in the nested components? Things very simple. I'm going to the browser, to the code panel to make you understand it. But it's very easy. So right here, if I go to the index.js, okay. So this is the some data from the class component, some new data, and some data from the other children. These things we are sending along with the class component in the class component of the CLS.com class component in the index.js file. Okay. So in the app.js, we do not want debugging or anything right now. Anyway, so here this is a class the class component. So what is happening here? We are here calling the class component again, but we are not sending anything. If we talk about these 2 pages now, the class component.js and the app.js. So here we are using this.props.new component, this.props.children, this.props.class data. Now I'm not talking about the index.js anymore. I'm talking about the app.js. So these things we called as a properties or the props you can say, but when I go to the app.js, in the app.js, we are not actually calling that data when we are calling this. So if you want to show those data, you have to make new variables here like new data or etc. Okay. First of all, before doing that, you can see that we got the duplication of the data. So we do not need to call the app 2 times. I'm deleting that. That's awesome. Also, we do not need to call the class component multiple times or any component. In the index.js, we are actually calling only one app. We are rendering through the DOM. We are sending only one component to the DOM, and in that component, instead of calling or rendering multiple components in the index.js, we are rendering them in the app.js and only placing the app.js right here. So I'm deleting that too. I think the concept is much clearer now, and I'm saving it, and now I'm going back to the app.js. Sorry. First, I need to clear the mess from the index.js, so we do not need those things. I'm deleting that like that and saving it now.